Good morning. All right. Okay, so I don't like German 30 only because it's gray, aqua, blue. That's consolidation. I'm not touching that. Jasmine versus Tether. Already hit stop loss and took off on us. It was supposed to be a sell, so no. And then with Norwegian krone versus Swedish krona, same thing. So nothing to start the evening. All right, so we got take profit hit on Great British Pound versus Japanese Yen for 98 pips. Good morning, Faceless. Gotta take profit smashed. All right, let me go ahead and record this real quick. Feel a little slow this morning. And this one. Got another tape profits mass, this time on USD versus Japanese yen. It's another 78 pips. $79 pips. All right, let's check on everything else. So nothing on the buy side. So we lost a lot of ground on crypto sales because Bitcoin is up 2,800 points. That sucked. We're significantly more in profit beforehand. So it's like Boink should take profit, but Guess the spread on the broker didn't clear, so still in the trade. All right, so nothing to notice. 2:16 right now. So it looks like we get anything for the 2:15 time frame. We had a few calls coming into 2 o'clock. All of those were duds. So it looks like we're going to be waiting on the 2:30 ticker for our next opportunity to enter the market. I'm the Pit Messiah, your host for the Quiet Storm live trading session for the London Stock Exchange for October 23rd, 2025. Going to be going to 4 a.m. Central Standard Time today. And we're going to be coming back for the New York session from 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. While we're waiting, let's go ahead and check on the news. See what we got. So nothing major today at all. U.S. government is still shut down, so that's why you don't see any release of government reports. Normally, you'd have some major news on U.S. dollar today, but nada. Better. Okay, so slightly negative futures on US 30, slightly positive on NASDAQ 100 and on S&P 500. We'll look at the indices and see if we have some entries on buys. Got positive futures on gold as well. Same thing on the UK 100, the France 40, and the German 30. Negative futures on the Japanese Nikkei 225, the Hong Kong 50, and Asia 200 are positive for the day. And we have positive futures on Bitcoin, Ripple, Ethereum, and Solana for the day. All right. Commodities are all up, with the exception of palladium. Not huge numbers, so it's kind of like a normal day. Bitcoin's fallen about 2,000 points since the last time I looked at it. See if it broke out of these order blocks. Yesterday, price was trapped. So still within the order blocks on the daily. Same thing on the 4-hour and the 2-hour. And the 1-hour. 30-minute, it broke through the one that was right here. So it looks like we have a bigger range. We've got resistance at about 112,400. So there's room for Bitcoin to go up. We'll see how much further we get, but it could conceivably go up another 3,000 points. But there's 1, 2, 3 areas of resistance above current price. It may keep ranging, but remember on the daily, you have a massive sell order block at 117,400. All right, what is our number one position? We've got Quant versus Tether. Was significantly in profit and then rebounded on us. So it's still in profit, but not quite there. So now we're going to be waiting until 2:30 in the morning. Really nothing else to see here. Maybe a bit of a quiet morning for us. How should the stop loss and take profit be set in relation to spreads? So TradingView does all that stuff for me. I don't really bother with trying to figure that out. It knows all the spreads. It's one of the reasons why I like it. So if I go to Quant, for instance, this is where we entered the trade. So the default is that this was going to be a sell position. If I were to go in and take a sell, presuming I was at the same entry, and I clicked in the button, it's going to give me a 1-to-1. So it's already going to give me a stop loss based off the spread of 166 pips. From there, I'm looking for my take profit. Or from here, my take profit I originally marked was 78.27. And I probably did that based off of pivots. It's a little longer than that now. 76.22. So I'll go into my settings. I will set my take profit to 76.22. And voila, my trade's done. So if I were taking this trade now, that would be my entry at the exact same entry price as the original trade with 166 pips stop loss, going for 814 pips. So the trade is already marked off by the Patrick indicator. I know where my take profit is. If it's not, I'm looking for the next pivot. And that's all I'm doing over and over and over again. But to answer your question, TradingView does all those calculations for me. I don't have to do the manual. And you can get a free account with TradingView to do all those things for you. You don't have to do them yourself. Now, is there a way to figure it out yourself? Yes. There are calculators that you can Google on the internet. That if you put in the asset, you put in your entry price, it will give you a stop loss. It will give you a take profit, and it will give you a lot size if you tell it the size of your account and if it's a buy or sell on the trade. So we've got about a minute, 15 seconds left until the middle of the hour. All right on cue. Look, we have a buy opportunity on Euro 50. That is an indice. Let's take a look. Aqua on top, gray in the middle, blue on the bottom. That's a buy. We're taking this to 5708.54. So current price. And there's our entry. All right. This is EUSTX50. This is a 30-minute confirmation buy. Risk to reward is 2.86. Entry 56, 56, 45. Stop 56, 38, 26. That's for 1,819 pips. And take profit is 5708.54 for 5,209 pips. All right, first call of the evening. Euro 50. This is a 30-minute confirmation, market execution buy. Entry price is 5656.45. Stop loss is 5638.26 for 1,819 pips. Take profit is 5708.54 for 5,209 pips and a risk to reward ratio of 2.86. All right, looks like we're not getting anything else for 2:30. Next opportunity to enter the market will be at 2:45 a.m. Central Standard Time. Mm. And just like that, we're already in profit on Euro 50. Five minutes left to go to the quarter of the hour, 2:45 a.m. Central Standard Time. Got something on Euro Shack. It's a stop loss hit on the original call. Good example of a call that we don't take. Now, I originally called a sell, but at the time of the sell, gray is on the bottom, aqua is in the middle, blue is on the top. That's consolidation. We don't enter these trades. Look what happened. Price went down and then fell in a consolidation to took off and hit stop loss. This is why we don't enter unless we have an uptrend or a downtrend. Right, 2:45 a.m. Looks like we have a sell on gold versus Australian dollar. And we have blue, gray, aqua. We take that all day long. We'll be selling to 6193.933. Turn up the stop a bit. All right, this is a 15-minute confirmation, market execution sell. .62 risk to reward ratio. Entry price is going to be 6306.546. Stop loss is 6337.615. That's for 3,107 pips. Take profit is going to be 6193.933. Now note, this is gold. It's more heavily weighted than a regular pair. Do not over leverage if you're going to take this trade. It's for 11,261 pips. And here's your second call of the evening. So we have the 5 and the 13 EMA. The yellow line is the 5, which is the power of the buyers. The red line is the 13, it's the power of the sellers. And then for determining uptrends and downtrends, we have the 50 EMA, which is the aqua, the 200 EMA, which is the gray, and the 800 EMA, which is the blue. If blue's on the top, gray's in the middle, aqua's on the bottom, that's a downtrend. So we call a sell. We enter that every time. If aqua's on the top, gray's in the middle, and blue's on the bottom, we call that a buy. So if you go back and we look at the entry for Euro, for instance, Euro 50, that was a buy. Aqua on the top, gray in the middle, blue on the bottom, uptrend. It called a long entry, and voila, we're in profit. And it's pretty simple and elegant. Try not to overcomplicate things. So here's your call. Gold versus the Australian dollar, 15-minute confirmation. Market execution sell. Entry price is 6306.456. Stop loss is 6337.615 for 3,107 pips. Take profit is 6133.933 for 11,261 pips. The risk reward ratio of 3.62. Of course. Next opportunity to enter the market will be at the top of the hour, 3 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we got our second trade as non-profit. It's gold versus Australian dollar. Same thing on Euro 50. So solid entries for the evening. We'll take it. So what I'm about to show you is something that you probably can't unsee. It might be complicated for me first explaining it to you, but it's why we win so often. So this is the nuts and bolts behind the trading system that we use. Now I want you to pay attention to the call on the buy on Euro 50. This is an indice. The Asian session normally helps set the low or high of the day. So if you look at Euro 50 on the very first ticker on the 30-minute, it set the low of the day. And it marked off this blue line as the bottom of the Asian range. That's the bottom. Price came up. Price came down and hit a higher low right here. After we hit a higher low on a buy opportunity, what we're looking for is the cross of the 5 and the 13 EMA. And that happened right here. And on the close of the very next candle, it called a buy. We entered 30 minutes after that. So, yeah, price action that went down. Yeah, price action that came up. Yeah, price action comes down to a higher low right here. We're ready for the cross of the EMAs right here. At that point, the indicator is going to call an entry. In this case, it's buy. And it'll mark an entry eventually. You gave us a take profit of 57.51.29. We're only going to 57.08.54. So that's what it looks like. All right, so we have a couple of more calls on gold. We have gold versus the United States dollar. This is also a short. We've got blue on the top, gray in the middle, aqua on the bottom. We're going to take that because that's a downtrend. We're going to be targeting 4,015.275. So a short from current position. 415.275. Now, when I'm looking to shorten up my stop, I'm looking to go right above where the arrow is. I normally go right above the number. So that's going to be our entry. This is gold versus the United States dollar on a sell. It's been a while since we've got a call on gold. So this is kind of cool to see. XAU USD, this is a 15-minute confirmation, market execution sell. With a risk to reward ratio of 4.21, our entry is at 4099.392 for 312, 4099.312. Stop loss is 4119.286. That's going to be for 1,997 pips. Take profit is going to be 4015.275. That's for 8,404 pips. And that's call. Gold versus the United States dollar, 15-minute confirmation. Market execution sell. Entry price is 4099.312. Stop loss is 4119.286 for 1,997 pips. Take profit is 4015.275 for 8,404 pips. Risk to reward ratio of 4.21. And we have gold versus the euro. Blue on the top, gray in the middle, aqua on the bottom. That is a downtrend. We're taking this on the sell from current position, targeting 3460.044. Again, we're going to bring the stop down to right above the number. We'll go ahead and take that extra space as well. Oops. Got it already. 3460.044. There we go. Perfect. And this is gold versus the euro. Gold versus the euro on a 15-minute confirmation. It's going to be a 4.91 Mr. Reward ratio with an entry of 3540.343. Stop loss at 3556.692. That's for 1,635 pips. Take profit is 3460.044. And that's for 8,030 pips. The next call of the night. Gold versus euro, 15-minute confirmation, market execution sell. Entry price is 3540.343. Stop loss is 3556.692 for 1,635 pips. Take profit is 3460.044 for 8,030 pips and a risk to reward ratio of 4.91. So we're getting close on soft versus tether. We'll stick with gold for now. What was it? So I'm missing some things. Just not quite sure what. All right. What was it? Euro 50 was the first call of the night. Got 7 minutes to 3:15. There's nothing else for 3 a.m. Seems like time is just moving very fast right now. Got tickers at 3:15, 3:30, 3:45, and 4 o'clock as we continue our advance through the London Stock Exchange. Right, looks like we got some more action this time on the futures markets. Blue, gray, aqua. We have action on gold, I believe that is. Yep, it's gold. All right, so it's going to be a sell for current price. We're going to be targeting 39.99.40. It's a 4.53 risk to reward ratio. Entry at 41.15.30. Stop loss at 41.40. 40.90. That's for 256 pips. Take profit at 39.9940. For 1,159 pips. All right, I am back. Sorry about that. Out of nowhere. That is greatly irritating. Hold on, I'll be back up and running here in a second. All right. Let's get back to the action. Now, we were doing a trade on GC1, which is a futures. We're going to redo the parameters on the trade because obviously it has moved on us. But 39.99.4 is the take profit. All right, so here's your next call. GC1, this is on gold. 15-minute confirmation, market execution sell. Entry price is 4115.30. Stop loss is 4140.90. 256 pips. Take profit is 3999.40 for 1,159 pips and a Bristol reward ratio of 4.53. And then we have micro gold. Also going to 3999.4. And that's a 4.63 risk to reward ratio. Entry price here is at 4125.80. Stops at 4153.10. That's for 273 pips. Take profits at 3994.40. That's for 1,264 pips. And here's your next call of the night. This is MGC1 Micro Gold. 15-minute confirmation. Market execution sell. Entry price is 4125.80. Stop loss is 4153.10 for 273 pips. Take profit is 3999.40 for 1,224 pips, 64 pips, and a risk to reward ratio of 4.63. So with that, just a review of the evening. We've got a take profit smashed on Great British Pound versus Japanese Yen. We have a take profit smashed on US dollar versus Japanese yen. We have a buy on Euro 50, that's an indice. We have a sell on gold versus Australian dollar. We have a sell on gold versus US dollar. We have a sell on gold versus euro. We have a sell on GC1, which is the futures on gold. And we have a sell on MGC1, which is a sell on micro gold. Apologize for the outage earlier. Not quite sure what knocked out my internet. Welcome back to all of you guys joining us on multiple platforms. YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Mix. We have a couple of viewers on Reddit as well. Welcome. Also on Amazon TV and Apple TV and iHeartRadio. Cheers to you. I am the Pip Messiah, your host for the Quiet Storm live trading sessions for London for October 23rd, 2025. We've had a pretty eventful evening so far. Big trades, heavily weighted, lots of profit on the line. So let those kind of marinate. I'm not quite sure how quickly they'll hit, but they will. Next ticker at 3:30 in the morning, Central Standard Time. It's now 3:24 in the morning. It's always interesting to see where people are from. I'm actually streaming live from Houston, Texas, in the United States. And, got people from 3 continents on tonight, which is pretty cool. For those of you that are on from Africa, I do plan on a trip probably sometime next summer for about 2 to 3 weeks to Ghana. Um, I'm going to make it a point to start visiting some of these home bases in other countries as well. One, to do in person trading, two, to meet the communities that are there. And three, it kind of doubles as being able to go to places I really wanted to go to anyway. So look forward to seeing you guys. Particularly for Ghana, I have someone that actually stays there, Roommate Ofi, who's really famous concerning crypto in Ghana. I guess he's one of the most famous influencers in the country. I'm going to be partnering with him to put on an event, probably multiple days, like a 2-day event where we have training, we have live trading, just to get people up to par. I'm going to talk about crypto markets, investing, things of that nature, um, just so people can kind of get bits and pieces of the entire kind of scope of what it is that we do. Struggle is relative. In the United States, particularly in Houston, for instance, we have a down job market. I think we lost 35,000 jobs in the Houston area just last week. But when you look at places like Ghana, for instance, or Nigeria, there's literally a genocide going on right now where um, the majority Muslim population is slaughtering Christians on the ground in Nigeria. And they're trying to keep it very quiet in the news, but unless you're hiding under a rock, you know that's happening. Um, you have a lot of corruption in a lot of these governments, and they make it difficult to transact in US dollars. So because of that, things are very, very expensive to buy relative to what we think about here. So, for instance, to live a relatively upper middle class lifestyle in Nigeria will cost you about $1,500 a month. Now, for us, that's not a lot of money, but there, it is a lot of money. And there are places in the world where your dollar will stretch quite a ways. If I were to go to Bali or Thailand, for instance, off of just what I made from trading last week, I'd be living like a king. So I think it's incumbent upon us, if we have skills, like the ability to learn how to trade, to go and kind of pass that forward. And I remember when I first started trading 12 years ago, one of the first things in my head was I wanted to become one of the best signal cardinals on the planet. Because when I first started learning how to trade, I had everyone that wanted to teach me how to trade, but it was behind a pay gate. So they'll take your money to learn how to trade, but now you have all these quote unquote strategies, but you don't know how to really use them effectively to make profit. And that to me was not what I wanted to do to other people. So I made it a point to form my own trading consortium once I left the original one that I was in and bring along traders that I trusted. Hey, Paula. Paula actually was in one of the original groups I was in as well, and continue to help them profit. Some traders don't really want to learn the skill. They just want to profit alongside you. I'm fine with that. Some take what you have and they refine it further because people's trading style is unique to them. And others simply don't necessarily have the time. So to be able to give them the benefit, to be able to continue to learn at their own pace and to still profit over time has been a blessing for me. All right. Coming up on 3:30, and let's see what we end up getting here. We do trade about 328 different assets across multiple asset classes. So it's going to take about 3 minutes for trade. And just like that, we have our first opportunity is IOTX versus Tether. Let's take a look. Now, instructive here. We do have a breakout of the Asian range. We do have a high and a lower high. And we do have the cross of the EMA, which is a good setup. However, we have blue, aqua, then gray. That's consolidation. We don't take this trade. Now, if you want to take that further, you will go in and you want to put it in the order blocks. You see why. So on the 15-minute, price is not going to break through that. So it's going to range on us. If the market's moving sideways, that's consolidation. We don't want to enter trades like that. So this is a bad setup. Got a few more minutes. See if we get anything from the market proper. Then in about 7 minutes, we get another shot at the commodities market. We do have 5 different sales on different assets for gold. Hopefully we get some opportunities on silver, platinum, or palladium as well. But even if we don't, we got a nice busy evening with lots of profit to be made. Now, if you are taking any of those gold trades, please do not over leverage. Gold is more heavily weighted than regular Forex pairs, between 10 and 25% more heavily weighted, actually, depending on your broker. Also, the spreads on commodities are a lot bigger. So be careful with that. You can stick with 0.01 on these trades and still make a nice little chunk of change. You don't have to be greedy. All right, we've got two more tickets for the evening, one at 3:45 a.m. Central Standard Time. The last at 4 a.m. Central Standard Time for the London session for October the 23rd, 2025. We will be coming back for the New York session from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. Welcome to join me there as well. If you haven't already done so, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel, like the video, and turn on all those notifications so you keep abreast of when I do go live in the market. The Quiet Storm live trading sessions are held every weekday, 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Central Standard Time for London, 7:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. for New York. Gotta get down there to Florida too, Paul. I haven't been to the Florida area since I was a teenager. I went to my family went to Disney World when I was I say I was 9 years old at the time. So it's been a very long time. I just remember it rained every day. Just under 4 minutes left to go to the quarter of the hour. And to think I was a little bit worried when I first started the evening because I was not awake. Got myself a good jug of juice and that woke me right up. Put the slide right back in his bed and hibernate before London. Before New York, rather. Yeah, Bitcoin is still hovering right where it was, around 2,000 points up. I don't expect it to do much more moving today, to be honest. We get on stack. Man, look. Uh, oh, okay. Here we go. 345. Nothing immediate. One. Hmm. We may not get anything for 345, but we'll see. All right, so we're not going to get anything for 345. Next to last checker's at 4 a.m., about 12 minutes from now. See what we end up getting. 6 minutes left to go to the top of the hour. Just real quiet. Don't know why the stream decided to wait till the last 15 minutes to seem like time is stretching out forever. Still got a little under 5 minutes left to go to the top of the hour. About 3 minutes left. All right, top of the hour. Looks like we got two calls. Let's take a look. Looks like we've got EOS versus USD. We've got blue on the top, gray in the middle, aqua on the bottom. It's a sell. Got a target 0.2687. The 3.34 risk to reward ratio. Entry price is at 28.04. Stop loss is at 28.39. It's 35 pips. Take profit of 117 pips. All right, next call of the night. This is EOS versus USD. 15-minute confirmation, market execution sell. Entry price is 0.2804. Stop loss is 0.2839 for 35 pips. Take profit is 0.2687 for 117 pips. Risk reward ratio of 3.84. And lastly, we have XCN versus Tether. That's going to be a sell, blue, gray, aqua. Targeting 84388. Make this a little tighter so we bring the stop right above the number, right there. All right. Grab this bad boy. This is XCN versus Tether. 15-minute confirmation, market execution sell. It's a 3.31 risk to reward ratio. Entry price at 87895. Stop loss at 88955. It's for 1,060 pips. And take profit 84388. That's for 3,507 pips. All right, last call of the evening. XCN versus Tether, 15-minute confirmation. Market execution sell. Entry price is 0.0087895. Stop loss is 0.0088955 for 1,060 pips. Take profit is 0.00843888 for 3,507 pips. And a risk reward ratio of 3.31. So that's it for us this evening. I will see you again for New York at 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time today. We're going to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time to close the London Stock Exchange for that next session. Cheers.